Students work in groups and use their iPads to create videos, showing the jobs they might like to have one day. Please enjoy.
I want to be a drummer because I love playing the drums. To do this job, I need to learn drum lessons. To do my job, one thing I will need is drumsticks. My job will help the community by entertaining the people in the community.
I want to be an animator because I love movies. To do this job, I have to learn to animate and draw. To do my job, one thing I will need is a computer or paper. My job will help the community by entertaining people.
I want to be an equestrian because I love horses. To do this job, I have to learn how to treat horses and how to teach kids. To do my job, one thing I will need is a horse. My job will help the community by helping people know about horses.
I want to be a second grade teacher because it seems fun and interesting.
I want to be a high school math teacher because I like math. To do this job, I need to learn math.
To do this job, I have to learn how to work with children. Some things I need to do my job are a ruler, a calendar, and a whiteboard.
Some things I will need to do my job are pencils and paper. My job will help the community by making people smarter at math.
My job will help the community by helping children learn.
Yeah.
I want to be an actress because I did acting when I was 4 and 5.
I want to be an actor because I like acting.
To do this job, I have to learn acting classes.
To do this job, I have to learn to use feelings that I don't feel.
To do my job, one thing I will need is a script.
To do my job, one thing I will need is costumes.
My job will help the community by making movies for other people.
My job will help the community by making people entertained.
I want to be an author because I like writing books. To do this job, I have to learn how to publish. One thing I'll need is a pencil. My job will help the community by giving kids something to read.
Gymnastics coach.
I want to be a gymnastics coach because I am good at gymnastics and I love it.
I want to be a gymnast teacher because kids need to be stronger.
To do this job, I have to learn which activities to do at bar, vault, balance beam, floor, and strength exercises.
To do this job, I have to learn to be fun and safe.
To do my job, one thing I will need is good clothes for doing gymnastics.
To do my job, one thing I need is a gymnastics suit.
My job will help the community by keeping kids happy and strong.
My job will help the community by making kids stronger.
By Tessa
And Molly.
We want to be artists because I love to draw things.
To do this job, we need to learn how to draw more things.
One thing I need is an easel because I will need something to hold my paintings.
My job will help the community by adding color to things that are blank.
To do this job, I have to learn all about the art supplies and how to paint.
To do this job, I will need is paintballs.
My job will help the community by I can make the community more colorful and beautiful for the people to enjoy.
We want to be a teacher because I get to meet kids.
And they tell kids what to do.
To do this job, I have to learn how to be flexible
And to do math. To do my job, one thing I will need is books.
And I need a class.
My job will help the community by
Teaching kids.
We want to be construction workers because
I love making schools and mansions.
I am good at building Legos and my dad thinks I'd make a good construction worker.
I like building with Legos.
To do this job, we will have to learn to use cranes, to spread goop, and to lift bricks.
To measure and to use the tools.
How to use the materials properly.
To do my job, one thing I will need is I need a hammer because I need to nail stuff.
A hammer because I'm gonna have to need to nail the nails together.
A hard hat, a hammer, a drill, a screwdriver, and an outfit.
My job will help the community by making schools and apartments.
By making buildings and making companies bigger.
Give people houses for shelter.
I want to be a hockey player because I like playing hockey. To do this job, I have to learn more tricks on the ice. One thing I will need to do my job is to be on a team. My job will help the community by entertaining them.
I would like to open the city gates, please. Thank you. And to be mayor, 'cause I like to solve problems. For this job, one thing I will need is help. Lawyers to judges. Go. I started. To do this job, I have to learn to be considerate. My job will help the community by taking care of the city. And that was my presentation on being mayor.
I want to be a paleontologist because I have loved dinosaurs since I was 4 and I have learned a lot about prehistoric life.
I want to be a paleontologist because I want to look for dinosaur bones.
To do this job, one thing I have to learn how to build dinosaur skeletons and how to dig.
To do this job, I have to learn where the dinosaurs live.
To do this job, one thing I will need is a magnifying glass to see bite marks.
To do this job, one thing I'll need is a shovel.
My job will help the community by discovering new dinosaur facts for people to learn.
My job will help the community by putting the dinosaur bones in the museum.
I want to be a judge because to enforce the law, to do this job, I have to learn the laws. To do my job, one thing I will need is a courtroom. My job will help the community by putting bad guys in jail.
Go.
I want to be a football player because it will entertain people. To do this job, I have to learn the plays. One thing I will need to do my job is a football. My job will help the community by giving them entertainment.
I want to be a miner because you can explore the earth. To do this job, I have to learn how to use a pickaxe. Some things I'll need to do my job are a pickaxe, dynamite, and a flashlight. My job will help the community by making money to make new houses in the community.
Bye, Graham.
We want to be a veterinarian because I love animals.
Because I love animals. To do this job, I have to learn about the pets' bodies and what they eat. To do this job, I will have to learn how to take care of all types of animals. To do my job, one thing I will need is a bed for the pets to sleep in. To do my job, one thing I will need is a pet carrier. My job will help the community by taking care of pets to stay healthy. My job will help the community by taking care of sick and hurt animals.
Gymnastics teacher.
I want to be a gymnastics teacher because I'm very athletic and I love gymnastics.
I want to be a gymnastics coach because I like to do flips and jumps.
To do my job, one thing I will have to learn is what stages to put my students in.
To do this job, I have to learn how to do a front flip and a back flip.
To do my job, one thing I will need is a gymnastics mat because I would not want my students to get hurt.
Some things I will need to do my job are a bar, a work mat, and a balance beam.
My job will help the community by helping kids be more athletic.
My job will help the community by teaching people to be gymnasts.
By Lucy Ann Kinley.
My name is Miles. I want to be a YouTuber because I like YouTube. To do this job, I have to learn how to post a video. One thing I will need to do this job is a camera. My job will help the community by entertaining kids.
I want to be a pilot because I like the sky because it is cool. To do this job, I have to learn how to control the buttons. To do this job, I need a badge on my hat. My job will help the community by bringing people to different places.
My name is Molly. I want to be a waitress because I like going to restaurants. To do this job, one thing I will have to learn to balance the tray. To do my job, one thing I will need is a tray or I won't be able to carry the food. My job will help the community by bringing people different food.
We want to be bakers because I like to bake and cook to help my mom make a lot of stuff.
Because I like making sweet treats.
Thank you. Because I can bake.
To do this job, we have to learn how to bake,
How to handle customers. To use all the sharp stuff so I don't hurt myself. To do our job, one thing we will need is a bowl and a spatula.
One thing we will need is icing.
A spatula and a whisk to mix the eggs and to scoop up the cookies.
Our job will help the community by
Giving them food so they don't have to be hungry.
having them not do it themselves.
Baking healthy food.
I won't be gone because my grandfather. To do this job, I have to learn how many times to water the plant each day. To do my job, I only need one thing, gloves, because my hands are going to get messy. job will help the community by making the walls smell beautiful.
We want to be singers because I'm good at singing. To do this job, I will need to learn how to use a microphone. To do this job, one thing I'll need somebody to film me because I want to be on TV. My job will help the community by helping people have fun.
Action! My name is Luna Wilson. I want to be a robot scientist because I love technology. To do this job, I'll need to learn how to program. To do my job, one thing I'll need is tools like hammers, pliers, and a programming fan. My job will help the community by keeping people safe. This is a micrometer, and it is used to take little measures and big measures to make the right size of something. I want to be a farmer because I like to go outside.
I want to be a farmer because I like carrots. To do this job, I will have to learn how to farm.
To do this job, I will need to take good care of animals and grow crops. To do my job, I need one thing is a tractor.
My job will help the community by providing food.
My job will help the community by making vegetables for people.
I want to be a jeweler because I'm interested in jewelry. To do this job, I have to learn how to sell jewelry. Some things I'll need to do my job are tools to make jewelry. My job will help the community by selling them fancy jewelry.
By Shane.
I want to be a dog shelter worker because you rescue dogs and puppies. To do this job, I will have to learn to be strong and brave. One thing I will need is a leash and harness. One thing that my job will help the community by rescuing animals.
We want to be a veterinarian because I love animals. To do this job, I have to learn how to take care of animals. To do this job, I have to learn to do surgeries on animals. To do my job, one thing I will need is a stethoscope. Something I will need to do my job are gloves and a stethoscope. My job will help the community so animals won't be sick anymore. My job will help the community by helping people keep their pets healthy. Bye!
I want to be a doctor because I want to help people.
I can help people that are sick.
To do this job, I have to learn about the body of people.
I have to learn how to be a doctor.
Some things I will need to do my job is a stethoscope and a magnifying glass.
One thing I will need is a stethoscope.
Our job will help the community by keeping people healthy.
Mason Anthony Stephen Hewitt here. I want to be a chef because cooking is fun. At hibachi. To do this job, I have to learn kitchen rules, recipes. To do my job, one thing I will need is a spatula and knife. My job will help the community by cooking soup for people.
We want to be in the military because I want to help people.
Because I can take down doors.
I want to keep people safe.
To do this job, we have to learn how to hide, how to fly a plane or jet.
To be quiet.
Some things we will need to do this job are armor, a helmet, boots, a jacket, and pants.
A uniform.
Camouflage.
Our job will help the community by keeping people safe.
Not letting bad guys in our country.
By keeping people safe.
One, I want to be a nurse because I want to take care of people. To do this job, one thing I will have to learn is how to take care of people and the inside about people's bodies. To do my job, one thing I will need is band-aids. My job will help the community by helping people if they get hurt or if they are sick. I want to be an engineer because I like to be creative. To do this job, I have to learn how to build things. Some things I will need to do my job are like tools like wrenches and screws. My job will help the community when I build stuff for the people.
I want to be a computer scientist because I want to invent new kinds of computers. To do this job, I have to learn how to work and build a computer. One thing I need to do my job is a circuit board. My job will help the community by making new things to make it easier.
We want to be a firefighter because
So we can fight fires.
I like all the action. To do this job, we have to learn
About lightning hoses.
how to drive a fire truck. To do our job, one thing we will need is
A helmet.
the thermal camera. Our job will help the community by
Saving lives.
putting out fire and helping people so they're not injured.
I want to be a car dealer because I can give people cars. To do this job, I have to learn how to sell people cars. To do my job, one thing I will need is cars/trucks/jeeps. My job will help the community by making sure everybody has a car.
We want to be policemen because we help the environment.
Because they help the world.
I want to drive a police car.
To do this job, I have to learn the laws and how to drive a car.
To look criminals in the eye.
To protect people.
To do this job, one thing I will need is a police badge because how will they know if I'm a police officer?
Handcuffs.
Something we will need to do my job are a police car and walkie-talkie.
My job will help the community by solving crimes.
My job will help the community by catching bad guys.
My job will help the community saving the people from danger.
I want to be a movie maker because imagination. To do this job, I have to learn to use a camera. To To do my job, one thing I will need is a camera. My job will help the community by having a good imagination.
I want to be an EMT because they help people. To do this job, I will have to learn CPR. To do my job, one thing I will need is an ambulance. My job will help the community by helping people stay healthy.
I want to be a banker because I love money. To do this job, I have to learn a lot about money. To do my job, one thing I will need is a calculator. My job will help the community by keeping money safe.
I want to be a detective because I want to spy on people. To do this job, I have to learn to be sneaky. To do my job, one thing I will need is a magnifying glass. My job will help the community by finding clues, and this is my prop.
I want to be an astronaut because I want to go to space. To do this job, I have to learn what to do in case of emergencies. To do my job, one thing I'll need is a rocket ship. My job will help the community by helping people learn about space.
Buttons. I want to be a fashion designer because I can help people by making their clothes. To do this job, I have to learn how to make clothes. One thing I will need to do my job is a sewing machine. My job will help the company by making clothes for people. I want to be a lawyer because my dad is one. To do this job, I have to learn to put papers in the right file. To do my job, one thing I will need is a bunch of files for my paperwork. My job will help the community by making things fair.
I want to be a chemist because I'm a fan of chemistry and I did an elephant toothpaste experiment. To do this job, I have to learn to combine two substances together. To do my job, one thing I need is safety goggles because I need to protect myself from the dangerous chemicals. My job will help the community by making new substances.
I want to be a post officer because I could send different letters. To do this job, I have to learn. I have to work hard. To do my job, one day I'll need a mail truck or a bag. My job helps the community by deliver mail for people waiting for.
I want to be a programmer because it will allow community members to access to new games, books, and more. To do this job, I will have to learn how to use technology. One thing I will need to do my job is lots of technology. My job will help the community by helping teachers across the country to teach better.
I want to be a hockey coach because a lot of my friends play hockey and my friends inspire me. To do this job, I have to learn how to skate faster. To do my job, one thing I will need is a puck. My job will help the community by teaching kids how to play hockey. to be a train engineer because I didn't know what trains are, but now I do. To do this job, I have to learn how to drive the train. To do my job, one thing I will need is train engineer uniforms. My job will help the community by delivering things that help the community.
Pet shop owner.
I want to be a pet shop owner because I love animals. To do this job, I have to learn how to take care of the animals. Something I will need to do my job are a store, animals, food, water, and cages. My job will help the community because it will give them pets.
I want to be a scientist because I like experimenting with stuff. To do this job, I have to learn all the elements. To do my job, one thing I will need is a test tube because I need to test things. My job will help the community by discovering things.
I want to be an architect because I want to draw buildings. To do this job, I have to learn how to draw the white building. To do my job, I will need a blue suit. My job will help the community by to live somewhere.
Animator.
I want to be an animator because I want to make kids laugh. To do my job, I need to learn to draw good in all the details. One thing I will need to do my job is drawing supplies. My job will help the community by entertaining.
By Ozo.